Podcast City Network.
Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to The Everett Lee's Show.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
Woo!
Slammin' Thursday edition.
All Elite Wrestling Dynamite!
We are NXT!
With Everett Lee
Damn!
and the Chris Rose.
Let's do this!
Let's do this. Welcome, everyone, to another Slammin' Thursday edition of the Everett Lee Show with Everett Lee and the Chris Rose. Tonight, NXT AEW show reviews for this week. This day in wrestling history, and our review and discussion on WWE St. Valentine's Day Massacre from 1999 in Your House presents. And all that and much, much more. But let me go ahead and introduce my co-host. He has the best European uppercut in the business. He'll drop kick you without even looking back twice. He is the Chris Rose, baby. How you doing tonight, Chris?
Everett Lee, I'm doing fantastic. It has been one hell of a Thursday, one hell of a Slammin' Thursday, and it's been a great day. This past Saturday, KZW, the Chris Rose defeated Coda, and now I will go on, face Cousin Frank, which is crazy that I have to face him in the first round. But be that as it may, I will beat Cousin Frank, and I will win the tournament to become the KZW Heavyweight Championship. And that's why I've been in such a good mood here lately, because I know I will win that championship and be the best champion of all time in KZW. And that's what's going to happen, man. That's just plain and simple. I'm going to win the tournament. But, that's down the road. But tonight, I'm looking forward to the night. Looking forward to Slammin' Thursday.
I am too, man. I am definitely am too. And all I got to say tonight, Chris, is this.
It's showtime.
That's right. It is showtime. So,
gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
And let's jump in and talking about some wrestling. What do you say?
I'm ready. I was prepared. I took notes on AEW and NXT. The one thing I did not prepare for, though, was Monday Night Raw. I mean, here lately, man, it's been hard to watch. It's not been the best show. Rumble is good.
Yes.
I don't watch a lot of SmackDown, but Raw, man, it's just they're trying to make it better. But they just they're about to kill it with me, man. It's just hard to watch, but I'm ready to dive into it. I was really prepared big time on the AEW and NXT.
Yes.
It was very interesting to watch both shows at the same time. I really enjoyed that.
And you didn't even needed a PlayStation. You didn't even need a PlayStation 4 to do that. That's the thing of it. A lot of people watch AEW NXT on PlayStation View, but the thing is, PlayStation View, I think, is basically going under, and you're not going to be able to watch it that way. But people are going to find different ways to watch it as yourself, and that's good because you can watch one thing on one TV, one thing on your mobile device, and it's great. It is definitely great that you're able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I use the Spectrum app on my Xbox instead of just going to my TV because I use Spectrum.
Uh-huh.
and the AEW on my TV on the Spectrum app, and on my phone on the Spectrum app, I watch NXT. I'm
Yes.
more of an AEW guy because of Chris Jericho, my favorite wrestler, idol of all time, and NXT on my phone.
Nice.
And I enjoy watching it like that. I do. I focused in on both shows, taking as much as notes as I can. It's fun. It's fun to, watch how the shows are run compared to the other show as well. I'm going to do that from now on. It's fun to do it like that.
It is. It is. It's always fun. You sit back and you just
Drinking a little bit of the bubbly.
and then that's all you do, man. That's all you do. And just it's the best way to do it. There's no other way to watch wrestling. There's so much ways to watch wrestling that it's unbelievable. Back in the day, the best way to get good wrestling was VHS. You had a friend who had a VHS. He made a copy. Then he made another copy. You give it to another person. They make a copy, and they make a copy. And that's how a lot of stuff got handed around back in the day. If you talk to a lot of old schoolers and stuff, to ask them about the VHS. They'll tell you about VHS tapes because that's just how it was. That's how things are. But now with technology, you go on the internet, YouTube, you type in a wrestler's name, and you pull them up on YouTube. You type in their name there. Boom. There you go. You got matches. You got content. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is.
It is. Unbelievable.
It is. And, I don't want to put you on the spot here, man. For example, I watch a lot of your content on Facebook. You put your matches up on Facebook. That's how I keep up with you. With social media right there. That's how you keep up with your wrestlers. You put your matches up. I love it.
And by the way, I do not have anybody to record my stuff for me anymore, so I'm going to have to find someone to do that now. I don't have anyone to put that on there for me, and I sorely need that.
Yes.
I really wish I'd have got the beatdown I put on Coda on Facebook. I really wish I got that beatdown on there.
Yeah.
It was spectacular. Spectacular. Easy for me to say, right? It was. It was a great beatdown, man.
Yeah.
And I got some clips. A idiotic fan sent me, like I needed it, but either way, they sent me clips of me, and it was awesome. And just of me beating him and kicking his ass. And I'll do it again, and I'm going to be the next heavyweight champion. That's all there is to it. I'm coming for the championship.
Uh-huh. Let's talk about AEW, Chris. What do you say?
Let's get into it, man. I'm ready.
Okay. AEW started out with the tag team match. You had Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega defending the AEW Tag Team Championships against SCU. SCU lost the Tag Team Championships against Adam Page and Kenny Omega there. Now, this match started out with some good stuff that was going on, some good spots there. It started out with, and what'd you think about how that started out there? How the match went and started going at the beginning there, because it looked like Kenny Omega and Adam Page was about to. They pretty much were strong at the beginning there, don't you think?
Yes, yeah, man. They was really strong, solid wrestling match in the beginning. Great athletic double team moves by Page and Omega. great dive spots by both teams. Man, like I said, I watched them at the same time, so I was flipping back and forth between what they had on NXT. But man, this match was long. They finally slowed down the match and worked Omega for a while. They was going so fast it was hard to keep up. Then I watched NXT. Man, it was a good match. Omega and Page came out victorious. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the match.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because there's a few times where I thought the one thing I didn't like at the beginning of it, how Christopher Daniel took off with the Dark Order. They are pushing the damn Dark Order, don't you think? With Christopher Daniels, he's going to join them, but it's leading towards that. Yeah. It is. It is. It looks like that. He took off. You didn't even see him around through the rest of the match. I mean, he was in the back, and I wondered what the hell happened to him because he took off, and then while SCU was out there, they were trying to get those tag titles back. Man, did you think at one point, Chris, that they were going to get tag titles back?
I mean, yeah, at some points, but man, like I said, I was watching both, and but I thought it was a pretty good match. I mean, it was.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoyed how Hangman Page came off the clothesline, off the ropes, trying to do the clothesline a few times. I was surprised to see that Hangman Page and Kenny Omega actually retain the titles. I was thinking SCU would, but it looks like Kenny Omega and Hangman Page are still working well together, and there's not been no disgruntled stuff, that's been happening, like there were before. With everything going on in this match and stuff, SCU did not win the tag titles. Dark Order comes out. Dark Order, they ended up going after whoever was in the ring. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the thing is with Dark Order, a lot of people do not like them. The Young Bucks don't like them. Private Party, not Private Party, was it Best Friends? They don't like them. They don't like them, man. And basically, it's just it just gets me that they're really trying to push Dark Order to be like a menace. But hopefully, we'll see. I still believe that that Christopher Daniel is going to join the Dark Order.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he is. It's going to lean towards that because why would he not? Why would he not?
That would probably help the Dark Order, to be honest with you, having Christopher Daniels and hopefully Matt Hardy down the line if that ever happens.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he will join them, or he may show up because they've been hitting at that, So we'll have to wait and see. Definitely have to wait and see. But the next match, you had Dustin Rhodes going up against Sammy Guevara. I loved this. Was basically, it was a pretty good match here. In this match with Dustin, he defeated Sammy Guevara in this match, and then what I liked about this was at the end where he called out Jack Hager, and he basically said your MMA career sucked once you get in a ring with me. I loved that. I definitely loved the interaction there on that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Rhodes challenging Hager at Revolution. Just poking fun at him and everything. But man, really liked the match. Dustin took over in the beginning. Really good, solid opener. I just love how Cody and Dustin both reinvented themselves after WWE. Both of them did, and they're they're doing really great right now, and I really love it, man. I really love how Dustin is comfortable again, and he's wrestling on top. And, he got the victory on this one, beat Sammy Guevara. I thought it was a good match and a good promo at the end. I really enjoyed this segment on AEW.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed that. I'm excited about what the next match, because I've been saying it for weeks. Okay, or months. I was happy to see Nyla Rose going up against Rio, and you know what happened, Chris? Do you know what happened?
I do know what happened, but
Tell me.
I didn't watch the match because I'm going to tell you why here in a minute.
Yeah. Tell me why. Tell me. Come on. Don't hold out on me. Do not hold out on me. Come on.
Well, I was going to let you go first, but let me tell you. Okay, we got Britt Baker doing this promo first, right?
Yes, that happened
Did you see
beforehand. Yeah. What'd you think of that?
Baker promo started off kind of bad, And listen, like on the notes right here, it says Britt Baker's promo was awful. And as I got done writing it, I put a upside down face on my notebook. And then I wrote Britt goes off, and I love it all of a sudden. That was nuts. Because Britt did go off, and then the crowd reacted big time, calling them the Whataburger faces and stuff. Man, I love that. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Like, changed that quick. And my notes did too. Like, I was just like, please stop. And then I loved it. It was awesome. And then, the match.
Yeah.
Rio did a spot where she jumped on Nyla and then threw Nyla back in the ring, and then I watched what NXT had on.
Yeah.
How did she do that? But, man, I'm glad Nyla Rose is finally the champion, because I thought it should have happened in the beginning. And I'm really interested to see where they go with this finally.
Yeah. I was happy that Nyla won the championship. She should have won it. And she finally freaking won the championship. I'm so happy. I am so happy.
Yes.
Her to finally win this. And I love your action backstage. I thought that was great. Now Nyla needs to keep this damn championship, and now they need to bring Awesome Kong in, and now they need to have a freaking program. There you go. You got a program now. You got a freaking program. Someone must have been listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Rose needs to be. I'm glad she's the champion, and I'm, Awesome Kong could come back and be the challenger, but we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next week here. I definitely am. Now this next match here, MJF going up against Jungle Boy. Wow, Jungle Boy, man, it seems like he gets better and better with spots and stuff. You see that one spot he got MJF over in the corner, and god dang, that boy flipped. I don't know what the hell he did though, but it rattled MJF, didn't it?
yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this match. Man,
Yeah.
oh man, I loved it. Did you see the picture-in-picture when MJF was walking around the crowd, taunting them? Did you see that where it was on commercial?
Yeah. Yeah. that was
Slap,
what's that?
he slapped a beer out of a guy's hand in the front row. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah, showing great heat throughout the match. Both teams have very great dives and flips. I mean, MJF's showing a different side that we don't usually see from him in this match with Jungle Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I really liked it. I really liked it. MJF Thompson, Brandy was good. It looks like Brandy is doing something different now in AEW, or she's still the Nightmare Collective. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I really like Brandy in this role other than the other one she's been in. It was great to see MJF have a match finally, and good showing from Jungle Boy and MJF. And picks up the victory. It was a good match.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great. I mean, it definitely was great because I figured Jungle Boy was gonna get it though, but Wardlow, I can't stand Wardlow now. I can't stand him. This is basically how I feel. This is how I feel about Wardlow right now. I just basically just feel about him.
But there's one problem. Everybody still thinks that I absolutely suck.
That's what I feel about him. He walks around and probably thinks that, though. Because basically, he gets a phone call.
Cacao, hello. Hey, it's nothing. He says he knows you.
But I can't wait to see Wardlow in the ring, in action. That's just how I feel right
we're
now.
Gonna see that. We're going to see that next week. Or no, when is the Atlanta, Georgia? We're going to see it at Atlanta, Georgia. Steel Cage.
Yeah.
Cody.
Yeah.
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 It's not next week. Next week they'll be in Texas, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for the Steel Cage match. I'm ready for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I am too. Yeah. 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 So basically that the last part of this match here, what TV time was remaining? Jon Moxley going up against Santana for an eye, man. Now this is where it gets really interesting. This is what really caught me and what really made me like AEW for the night. For the fact that you had Moxley being Jon Moxley, and then what happened was he ended up defeating Santana, and after the match, this is what gets really interesting for me. For the fact that Jeff Cobb, out of all people, Jeff Cobb shows up in AEW, and he's in the Inner Circle. I must have been underneath a rock this week for the fact that Jeff Cobb is now in AEW, and he's not in ROH. What do you know about this? This took me by surprise, Chris. Had no freaking idea. No freaking idea.
Yeah, that was a big surprise when they made the announcement about Jeff Cobb. He's been in Ring of Honor and New Japan, and he's been around. And he's a good talent. And yeah, I thought we was going to see Jeff Cobb next week. I didn't think we was going to see him tonight. And, he comes out and attacks Moxley after his match with Santana, which was a pretty good match. They started in the crowd, of course. I mean, just brawling. And, it was a pretty good match. But, I watched NXT as well, and their main event was awesome. It was really good, too. Man, I'm with you. AEW was better. Moxley finally won. But, it was all about Jeff Cobb right here. He came in at the end. Man, I'm really excited to see Jeff Cobb in the Inner Circle, possibly. That's going to be fun. Or is he in there now?
He's in there now. Look what he
He's in there now. Okay.
That's what I got out of it. Look what he did. Look what he did to Moxley. The guy he came out there. He marched to the ring. He went after Moxley, and it was.
Well, the Inner Circle is just going to grow, and
yes.
Jericho is going to be the champion forever, like I was saying from the beginning.
Yeah.
He's going to get everybody around him. He's going to have him a group, a faction, a force to be reckoned with in the AEW, the Inner Circle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to see what Jeff Cobb does in AEW.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to see what he does. I definitely am. I'm ready to see what he does. I know my nephew. I want to give a shout out to him. Happy birthday, Cody. Today's his birthday, and he's probably at Dave and Buster's right now with his wife, who he married back in November. So I want to wish him a happy birthday, man. He wanted me to come out tonight, and I was like, I can't, man. And he was like, oh, yeah, it's Thursday. I was like, yep. He's like, all right, man. I was like, I wish I could, but I can't tonight. But I wished him a happy birthday and everything, and so wished him the best. So if you listen, Cody, happy birthday, and hope you have many, many more. But on to NXT. And this right here, NXT, to me this week, NXT just had a pretty I don't know. It was not to par to me with AEW. I don't know what your thoughts are before we talk about the matches. Let me ask you. You look at NXT this week in AEW, just looking at the booking and the matches. What do you think?
As I'm looking through my notes right now, NXT had some good matches, but AEW's whole show was better. It was better than NXT. The NXT, I mean, I'll start right here from the beginning if you don't mind. I mean, Roddy Strong and Bronson Reed, very first match.
Yeah, Bronson Reed.
Really, it started out kind of slow because I was watching this match in SCU and, what we discovered. And, I was into the AEW match at first, but when the match on NXT came back from commercial, Bronson Reed and Roddy Strong picked it up, man. Roddy Strong with a superplex onto Bronson Reed, a suicide dive by Bronson Reed, a great finish by Roddy Strong. It was Bronson Reed coming off the top for a dive and Roddy Strong catching him with a UFC-looking knee strike for the win. I really enjoyed the finish. I actually liked this match better than the SCU Hangman Page and Omega tag team match. So I got to give NXT the nod in the first match, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Because of the ending. They picked it up, and it was a really good finish. So I would have to say the match, Roddy Strong and Bronson Reed was great. I really enjoyed it, man. And then the promo afterwards, towards the Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
And that was a good promo back and forth between those guys.
Oh man.
I'm really excited to see the match between Roddy Strong and Velveteen Dream. I'm really excited. I really want pumped to see that match.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one thing, Bronson Reed. Who the hell is this guy, man? This guy comes out of freaking nowhere like a damn freight train. He freaking goes after, okay? He freaking goes after freaking man. It just got me, you know, right here with this, you know, with how everything with how Bronson Reed handles himself, man. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a good talent. He does a lot of stuff the cruiserweights do at a guy that size, and he tells a good story in the ring. And Roddy Strong took him on a whole new level right there. Bronson Reed's got a good future in wrestling, and I'm ready to see what he does moving on after this match, because Roddy Strong's one of the top guys in the company, and having a good match like that, man, it was good, especially the finish. I love the out of nowhere, not an ordinary finishing move finish. That's fucking booking. That's right there. That is how you do it.
Yeah.
And it caught him everywhere. That's how you do it. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. I mean, I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what else to say, but Bronson Reed, god dang, this guy just freaking when I saw him come in the ring and him just manhandle Roderick Strong, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Excuse my French. I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this guy, man? That
was a lot of the match in the beginning was a beatdown, and then it started to pick up, and it ended up being a great match. But yeah, Bronson Reed had a good showing, definitely.
Yeah, he did. He had a really good showing there. He had a really good showing, and I want to throw this out here real quick. Something I'm trying new tonight on the stream here. I added a chat box you may see periodically pop up on the screen. Trying some new features out here on my streaming software that I didn't know I had, and I really looked into, and I was like a kid in a candy store. I thought I was in Baskin Robbins, and I saw all the cool stuff you can do with my streaming software. I just was like, where do I start? My box. Okay, I got the chat box on, Chris, but from my view on the software I'm viewing at right now, it's small. I've seen some comments pop up, and I can't read shit. And I'm trying to get the thing up. That's what I'm trying to do. Maybe if I did it like that. No, my eyes still suck. Oh, man. It just... I feel...
But there's one problem. Everybody still thinks that I absolutely suck.
That's how I feel right now. But there's one thing I'm not doing tonight.
I don't do requests.
That's the only thing I'm not doing tonight. I was going to do one feature tonight there, Chris, but after what happened at the beginning of the show, that's not going to happen because I don't want to go into my new list of sound on my soundboard here. I got a whole bunch of them. So that's not going to happen. So maybe next week. But besides that, I may just be edgy and decide, you know what, let's do it later. We will do it later. So we'll see. All right, now let's move on here. We have Dakota Kai going up against Candice LeRae. I was excited to see Tegan Knox come out and go after Dakota Kai. I love that story. It started in War Games and it's continue on, and it's going to finally come to head on the NXT Takeover Portland. When the hell is that date again? There's so many dates that's going through my head right now that I can't keep up with.
I think NXT is this weekend.
Okay. Is it?
I think so.
Well, let me ask Google. Google. What is NXT?
That's what I'm doing right now. It may not be. But
yeah. Google's
February
ready.
16th.
Yep. February 16th. Yeah, I got Google Home.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think my phone just died. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I had my phone. I was using it for a stream. Nope, there it is. Okay. I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, there it goes. It timed out. Oh. Okay. Yeah, when I say that, it goes off on my phone there. Okay, there we go. Huh. All right, I'm looking at some comments here. All right, we got Scott D. Ray. Strong once told Ryan Dukin that Dukin was an awful name. Okay. Sounds good. All right.
Yeah, shout out to Scott Ray. He's one of the guys that got me into wrestling.
All right. Cool.
And
welcome to the show,
talking, Ryan Dukey, he's an independent wrestler as well, and yeah, he's just, I guess, telling a story from back in the day, and yeah, I'm real appreciative about Scotty Ray. He opened a door for me in the business, and I really appreciate it, and he's a good friend, and can't wait to hang out with him again.
Nice. I'm refreshing my Facebook tab here because I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not getting the comments and everything that I need to see. And now it's refreshing me over to Facebook Watch. What are you doing, Facebook? You're like Skynet right now. You're not on my freaking side. Oh, damn. Chris, freaking technology, man. I hate this. Well, I'm trying to refresh my page. Why don't you go ahead and continue on with with Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae. Let's continue on with that while I'm trying to get my shit together. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, it was a fast-paced open. Candice LeRae hit multiple suicide dives. Just one right after the other. It looked impressive, and we came back from commercial, and Dakota Kai just took over quick and picked up the victory. And the important piece of this puzzle was Tegan Knox comes out of nowhere, falls with Dakota Kai. I'm ready to see this match like he was talking about. It's going to be a good, and I love the story dating back to the War Games where she turned on Tegan Knox, beat her to death in the cage. And yeah, I'm ready to see it, man. I'm ready to see this match.
Nice. I'm ready for it, man. I'm definitely ready for it. I'm ready to see. Let's see what happens here with with the rival with Dakota Kai and Tia Nox. I have a feeling. Let's do a prediction here. While we're talking about NXT, let's throw in some of the stuff that's going to be happening in Portland, man. Dakota Kai, Tia Nox. I'm going to make a prediction here. I love to see Tia Nox get back and win, but I have a feeling Dakota Kai is going to win. I just have that feeling. Tia Nox is great, fantastic, everything she does, but I have that feeling that we're definitely going to see Dakota Kai win this. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say Dakota Kai wins and defeats Tegan Knox. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to say
Even
that.
though, you know, I think this new Dakota Kai is good for NXT, and I think that she should pick up the victory.
Yeah. Yep. I feel that's what's going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to go with that there. Now, Johnny Gargano, he went up against Cameron Grimes in that match right there.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny wrestling.
Oh, man, it was
freaking great. Cameron Grimes, this dude's getting better to me. He's starting to grow on me.
Yeah.
He is. He is.
It was a very crafty, slow opener. That's what I wrote for some reason, because it was that good.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, just all Johnny wrestling at the beginning. I really loved it. And I like Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes has he does a lot of good stuff in the ring. But I just think that Johnny Gargano should have won within 5 minutes because of his opponent, Finn Balor, who's been squashing everyone. And I think Johnny Gargano should have beat Cameron Grimes much quicker to send a message to Finn Balor, because that match at TakeOver Portland will be great as well. Johnny Gargano and Cameron Grimes. No, Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor. I'm sorry. Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor NXT.
Yes.
Portland's going to be great.
It is.
Ready for it.
Give me a prediction. Balor or Gargano?
I'm going to go with Finn Balor.
Oh, okay. Okay. Finn Balor. You're going with Balor. I feel that Balor, they brought him back to NXT for ratings, and also, too, to help enhance and put talent over. I'm sorry, because there's nothing really else I see yet that they're going to use him for. So I feel that he's going to help put Johnny over more than what he is, if that makes sense, if you know what I'm talking about there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Finn Balor will be kind of more than a utility guy. I think that
Do you think?
he could be an NXT. I think he could be the NXT champion again. I think bringing back the Prince character that he was, Prince Devitt.
Yeah.
He's got to be a dominant. Got to be a dominant force, because that's what he was as the Prince.
Okay.
He's been dominant here lately, and I think this could be a good reinvention for him.
Okay.
And hopefully take it somewhere in NXT.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano, he's got a good shot at beating Finn Balor, but I'm going to go with Prince Balor on this one.
All right. That's who you're going with. You're going with Balor. I'm going with Gargano. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We usually agree on a lot of things, but this is the one. It's like I understand your point and everything where you're coming from, but excuse me, I feel that Johnny's going to win this one, and you feel Balor's going to win it. So that's going to be an interesting one to see this weekend. Definitely. Leo Rush goes up against Angel Garza. How the hell do you say his last name? Garza?
Yep.
Okay.
Angel Garza.
Angel Garza. And Angel's still complaining about losing the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. And that's something I noticed this week. Where the hell was the NXT Cruiserweight Champion? Did he go back over to England to show off the new gold he has? Because that's where Jordan Devlin basically been making a name for himself over in the UK edition of the NXT there. And did he go back there and finish any unfinished business? Yeah. I think so. I haven't really watched NXT UK this week, so I don't know. Maybe you did. You don't watch it? Oh yeah, that's right.
No.
Yeah. Well, I know it comes on in the middle of the day when we're at work, but we can always go back on the network, I think, the following day and watch it. But I enjoy watching NXT UK when I do catch it. And there for a while, I was watching it quite a bit, and I was like, God dang, man, this content is freaking phenomenal. No pun intended. Because I love what they were doing with the talent and the matches and everything. I was watching NXT, but it's just over in the UK. I hate to throw that out there, but besides that, yeah, Angel's still upset about losing that title. And Leo is, I love the little promo there they had. You know that promo there that they had right before the match?
I don't remember a lot of it because I think I was watching the MJF stuff during this match as I got here on my notes. So I didn't see the promo, but man, the match itself, going back and forth because there's two good matches on each television station.
Yeah.
MJF and Jungle Boy versus this one. So it was kind of hard to keep up with both, but man, Leo Rush had a frog splash on the outside of the ring, and it was insane. I really enjoyed that. And I wrote down that Angel Garza will be the WWE champion someday. He has that look, and he'll get more size in time. He just has a look of a WWE champion, and I think he will be the champion one day.
You do.
But after all the stuff they did in the ring, Rush wins with a small package. And he will challenge Jordan Devlin next week on NXT for the Cruiserweight Championship. So I'm ready to see that match and see what they do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that because Devlin, Devlin was trained by Balor. Finn Balor trained him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why he's so great.
I watched the very first UK show they ever had in 2016, I believe it was.
Yeah, the UK tournament.
Finn Balor wrestled Devlin.
Yeah.
And I thought that was awesome. And they explained that Balor trained him, and it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. And that was a good start to the NXT UK. But as time went on, I just don't watch it like I used to. But
yeah,
I'm really excited to see this Cruiserweight match next week. I am.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it, man. To see what happens here. Bianca Belair defeats Santana Garrett. I feel bad for Santana, man, because I've met her. Really, really great person. And I've seen her wrestle live in front of me. Okay? great talent, great everything in the ring. I was so happy when they signed Santana Garrett. I was like, yes, because she did so much for the promotion. I can't think off the top of my head that she's done with the all women's wrestling. Damn, I can't think of it. But she did. She's a great talent and everything, and great personality, everything. And when NXT, they used her a lot because she was in both the Mae Young Classics. She has come on NXT TV multiple times. Back before it was on USA, it was on the WWE Network. She was on both of. She was on there. And then when it was announced that they signed Santana Garrett, I said, about damn time they signed her. Because after everything she's done with them and they've used her for, I was so glad that they signed her to a NXT. And she's pretty much not really been winning any matches, man. I'm just, oh, God. I'm just like... Really? What the hell are you doing? What the heck? What the heck are they freaking doing, you know? It's like, come on. I want to see her win at least one.
Maybe this is building to something bigger, and we don't know it yet, but yeah, Bianca Belair got rid of her in minutes, and sent a message to Rhea Ripley this weekend at NXT Portland, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bianca Belair takes the championship. And I know what everybody's saying, Charlotte and Rhea at WrestleMania, but I think that Charlotte and Rhea Ripley could have just a singles match at WrestleMania with no NXT title involved. And that very well could happen this Sunday at NXT Portland. And as a matter of fact, my prediction is Bianca Belair.
You think Bianca's going to get that title?
I'm going to go with Bianca Belair.
You're going to go with Bianca? Dude, Rhea's going to...
I'm going to go with Bianca.
I can't stand... I can't see another triple threat match like I did last year. I can't. Chris, I cannot go through it again. I cannot go through another triple threat with Charlotte. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I cannot do it, man. I just can't.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a triple threat match. I don't think the NXT title will be on the WrestleMania card at all.
I do. They're leaning towards it. Look, now you didn't really pay too much attention to what happened on Raw. You didn't really pay too much attention because it looks like for a minute there at one point I thought I was watching Walking Dead when Shayna Baszler came in and attacked Becky and bit her on the neck, and then she came up and her mouth was red. For a minute there I said, am I watching Walking Dead or what the hell am I watching? I
saw highlights.
What? You saw blood?
I saw highlights of that.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Creative. What are you doing? Are you producing wrestling or are you producing Walking Dead? Because I feel like the creative is just.
We about to get stupid.
Sometimes with the stuff they do. But you ever heard that old saying? You've probably heard it before. Who books this shit?
Yeah, who booked this shit?
Who booked this shit, man? WWE creative for you.
But you know and I know that you are only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
That's yeah, who books this shit, right? Seriously.
Yeah, who booked this shit?
Biting. Did Shayna Baszler, did she watch Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield fight before she came out? Did she watch it? Did she watch it? You know, she sat there and was like, you know what? And Mike Tyson bit Holyfield in the ear. I'm gonna go after the neck. That's basically what she does. I'm like, really? She came in there and it was like, I thought, for God's sakes, I'm watching The Walking Dead. There's Becky and here comes Shayna and it's like, I'm like, she comes up and I said to myself, I said, what the hell am I watching? It's not wrestling no more. Is this AMC? I had to check the channel, Chris, to make sure I was watching USA and not AMC.
And I also saw on the internet that people were saying that Shayna Baszler is in the cage that Rowan carries around. They put her face in it. Have you ever seen that?
No. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
It's so that's what Eric Rowan is carrying Shayna Baszler around inside the cage.
That's what I looked around about with the segment on Raw where she bit Becky. Yeah, somebody joked around about it and put Shayna's face inside the cage. And yeah, it was funny with the blood all around her. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm Googling it right now. Gotta see this. I gotta see this. If I find it, then all right. There's the blood thing. Okay. All right. Let's see. Vampire, Shayna Baszler vampire. What the heck? Oh my God. Really? What is going on here, Chris? Oh my God. Oh damn. This is when you realize, here's a meme here, when you realize Shayna has been doing it all with her eyes closed. Oh my God. Oh damn. It's not coming up here. I'm gonna have to look at it later. I'm gonna have to definitely look at it later. But damn. That's crazy. That's some funny stuff there. Okay. Kind of getting off track here, but yeah, I just Baszler and Lynch are gonna go at it at Mania, and I feel for the fact that Baszler's gonna. Oh God, that image it's burning through my freaking head, Chris. Oh my God. Damn, man. Oh God, give me.
Drinking a little bit of the bubbly.
That's basically what. I need some bubbly. I just need some. All right. Chris. Bianca Belair, you feel she's going to win the NXT championship and it's going to be her and or Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. But what was the point of Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble if she's not going to go after the championship? If Bianca Belair wins it, okay, Bianca Belair wins the NXT championship, would you consider Charlotte to go after her, or would she still go after Rhea without that championship? So, if you,
all right,
yeah, how's this going to work?
What I said. I forgot that Charlotte won the Rumble. So
there you go.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley's going to win. Rhea Ripley winning this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Forget what V. Chris said.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Sorry, I had to give that to you.
I don't even know what anybody's talking about. My original prediction was Rhea Ripley. So Rhea Ripley.
That is incorrect.
No, it's not. No. Rhea Ripley's going to win. Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
I was always pulling for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Chris.
That was
Chris.
like what the f- moment right there.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Come on, Chris. Stick with me. Stick with me. I know it can get crazy here on Slammin' Thursdays, though. I know it can get crazy. But come on, man. Come on.
I wanna rock.
So. All right, let's get to the last part here. Adam Cole goes up against Kushida. Okay. What do you know about Kushida?
He was a super junior in Japan. Is that what they call him?
Yes.
He was in New Japan. I know that, and he had some spectacular matches with Will Ospreay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't watch a lot of New Japan anymore because a lot of people's left there that I liked, and it's not that interesting anymore. But when I used to watch a lot of it, Kushida was on there, and he did a really good job. This match, Cole and Kushida, was a good main event. I liked how Cole went for his signature Canadian Destroyer on the outside, and Kushida caught him an armbar. I thought that was very innovative.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded
Cole
me.
hit.
Can I throw this in here real quick?
Mhm.
It reminded me when Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly was wrestling ROH, and when Adam Cole came off the apron, midair, Cole put him in a freaking armbar. That's what it reminded me of. But continue.
Cole gets hit with a handstand. He does a handstand kick, and then Cole reverses it into a boot. I mean, they put out some crazy stuff. Kushida looked impressive. I love to see these guys at an angle down the road.
Yeah.
Man, but the match, I mean, it was cutting it close to TV, and you could see it, how the finish was.
Yes.
But it was cutting it close to that 10 o'clock thing. They went off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the AEW is off the air, and their match was still going on. But, Adam Cole beat Kushida finally.
Yeah.
And, man, the match was a little too long. But, man, the spots I was, pointing out, I really enjoyed how they put that together. It was a good match, a good main event.
Mm-hmm. It was good. It was good. Yeah. It was good. Now, if you look at AEW this week, Chris, here we go. A moment of truth here. AEW NXT. Okay. Which was the better show this week?
I'm going to have to give the nod to AEW, even though I enjoyed NXT. I enjoyed AEW. I just think the ending of the show, AEW got the better of them with the Jeff Cobb addition to the roster. That's what got NXT this week. And the storylines on AEW as well was pretty good compared to the NXT. And I'm going to have to give the nod to AEW this week.
All right. AEW. Tell you what, AEW basically, if I was there, and if I knew this card ahead of time, I would have been there, and they basically would have got
Show me the money! Show me the money!
AEW this week was the winner. NXT was good. I agree with you. Jeff Cobb. Having Jeff Cobb. Have you seen Jeff Cobb wrestle live?
Not live, but on, I saw him on New Japan and
Yeah.
a couple of Ring of Honor. I can't remember exactly what he does. It's been a while since I've seen him, but I do know of him. And he's going to be something.
Remember One Night Stand, the second One Night Stand pay-per-view from ECW? Remember the opening match with Kurt Angle versus Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Remember how focused Kurt Angle was in that match there? He was a wrestling machine. That's Jeff Cobb. And seeing him, my nephew, I hate to throw this word out here and use it though, but I love you, nephew, but he's a mark for Jeff Cobb. He loves him because when he found out I saw Jeff Cobb wrestle live at the New Japan Game Changer event a couple years ago, I was like, yeah, Jeff Cobb was there. And he was like, Jeff Cobb, you saw him wrestle live. I wish I knew it. He lost his shit, dude. The kid, he lost his shit. I said, yeah, I seen him live. And I said, everything you said about him being like Kurt Angle and how he wrestles and stuff, you're dead on, man, because I was entertained. And he was just a great in-ring performer. Him coming to AEW is a plus because those who follow him and him being on AEW, they're gonna be in surprise, man, because you're gonna see some good stuff coming from this guy. If they put him out there and him starting having matches like he needs to or supposed to, this guy's gonna be great because he is such a great in-ring talent. He is like what Kurt Angle was back when Kurt Angle was young. Is that you see here, Chris? God dang, you get to see him wrestle live. Take that advantage because you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed with that right there. But yeah, NXT had a solid show, but with the fact that Velveteen Dream was a surprise, if they would have waited this week and had Velveteen Dream come back, I think NXT would have probably beat AEW, or it would have been neck to neck. Too close to damn call this week. But they went ahead and did theirs, and then AEW's like, well, you know what? Fuck. Next week, we're going to introduce Jeff Cobb. That's what we're going to do. Because people were talking about Velveteen Dream being back last week. This week, it's like AEW's like, okay, yeah. All right. We're going to introduce Jeff Cobb. We'll see what you say about that. And a lot of people are still talking about that. So, AEW gets the approval this week from Everett Lee and the Chris Rose. So, there you have it right there. Right there for your NXT and AEW show reviews this week, ladies and gentlemen. And I think it's time to mention about Podcast City Network, your top source for independent podcasting. You can check out shows such as The Everett Lee Show, Final Score, Imaginarium with Scott and Todd, Super Radio Brothers, Best Friend Podcast Show, Movie Nights Podcast, and Mark the Shark MMA Show. All on podcastcity.net. And David C. Russell from Deathmatch Russell Podcast and Wrestle Popcast. Right there on podcastcity.net. Follow them on Facebook, Podcast City Network, and over on Twitter at Podcast City Net. and follow them on YouTube for video portions of their podcast. And subscribe to that. You can check out TheEverettLeeShow videos right there. And follow them right here on twitch.tv/Podcast City Network. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we are going to discuss what happened on this day in wrestling history. Hopefully I don't lose my smile over it, but a little thing we'll be talking about right there, if you got that. And then we're going to be talking about the WWE St. Valentine's Day Massacre pay-per-view from 1999. Much more here on your Slammin Thursday edition with Everett Lee and the Chris Rose. We'll be right back right after this.
The following support and sponsor Podcast City Network.
City Limits Tap Room, sports bar in DeLand, Florida, has brew on tap, serves food. The grilled cheese is excellent. For upcoming events, check out City Limits Tap Room on Facebook.com/City Limits Tap Room. 3 Count Design offers a wide range of graphic design products, video, photography, and other forms of media. Everything from t-shirt designs to websites. Visit Facebook.com/3 Count Design for more.
All supporters and sponsors are brought to you by Podcast City Network.
Hey fans, here at Podcast City Network, we have a lot of great shows on all of our great social media outlets. PodcastCity.net.
Facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit that thumbs up. You can send a tweet to Podcast City Network on Twitter at Podcast City Net.
Only on Podcast City Network. You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
I want to thank everyone that's listening and have downloaded the audio version and viewing tonight right here on the Everett Lee Show Slammin Thursday edition with Everett Lee and the Chris Rose. So let's jump right into talking and discussing about what happened on this day in wrestling history. You with me, Chris?
I'm with you, man.
Okay.
I'm with you.
I didn't know if you were still here or not. Well, you took a look at the what happened on this day in wrestling history. You know what I'm talking about when I said before the break, right?
Oh, yeah. It says, WWF presented Raw out of Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Second ever 2-hour episode of Raw.
Yeah. Yeah, the first came a week earlier when WF, now WWE, expanded the show to 2-hour to compete with WCW Monday Nitro. That's the beginning of the Monday Night Wars. It aired its usual Monday time slot in Canada, but it was presented, it was pre-taped. They weren't live like they are now and like they did during the, I think it was the late 2000s. It was live. They went 3 hours, but beforehand, Raw was pre-taped and then just aired on Mondays. And for a while there, that's how WCW got ahead in the ratings, because Eric Bischoff would spoil what was going to happen. And it backfired, of course, with the Mankind winning the WWE Championship. And that's how they basically, WWE won the Monday Night Wars. But it was pre-taped to the American audience due to the USA Network airing the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. And the show was airing 3 days later. WWE promoted the special episode as a Thursday Night Raw Thursday. The card for this 2-hour Raw, you had Rocky Maivia, known as The Rock, went up against Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Triple H to win the WWE the Intercontinental Championship. The win basically made Maivia the youngest Intercontinental Champion in WWE history. The mark has since been surpassed by Randy Orton, who holds the record, winning the first Intercontinental Championship at age 23 in 2003. The Headbangers went up and defeated Aldo Montoya and Bob Holly. The Undertaker defeated Savio Vega. Steve Austin defeated Psycho Sid in a disqualification. The Nation of Domination, Farouk and Crush defeated Owen Hart and Davey Boy Smith by countout. Bret Hart defeated Vader. But the most important thing about this was it was on one of the top 100 Raw moments was Shawn Michaels. He vacated the WWF Championship due to a knee injury. And during the segment, Michaels said that famous thing. He lost his smile. He lost his smile. And to this day, the speculation was whether or not Michaels really did injure his knee to the point where he had to give up the title. The vacation of the title only heightened tension between Shawn Michaels and the man that many say was lined up to be WWE champion coming out of WrestleMania 13 was Bret Hart. The championship was declared vacant with a new champion to be crowned at the In Your House Final Four with Bret Hart, Vader, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Undertaker. 4 of the final men in the previous month's Royal Rumble match would face off for the title. Psycho Sid's Michaels' original challenger for the title at the pay-per-view would face the winner for the next night on Raw. And for the record, Bret Hart won the title to only lose it next night to Sid. One more thing was, with this act, Michaels became the first man to forfeit all 3 major championships in WWE in his career. Michaels forfeited the Intercontinental Championship due to suspension in 93 and the tag team titles with Diesel in 94. It would only be the only time he forfeited a title in 1997. 4 months later, he forfeited half the tag team titles when he was suspended following a backstage fight with Bret Hart. WWE announced that Bret Hart, the Hitman Hart, a man who had very publicly fallen out with the company, declared earlier, would be inducted into the Hall of Fame on this day. But ain't that... let me read this one other thing here. Bret Hart also, would appear at the ceremony, but he would not appear at WrestleMania 22. And also on this day, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame on this day too. But the Shawn Michaels losing his smile there, ain't that some crazy stuff with the politics going backstage there, don't you think?
Yeah, that was a crazy time for Shawn Michaels, and that is a highlight throughout history. The Shawn Michaels losing a smile, and that's just what they came up with for the suspension. And I mean,
yeah,
they could have came up with something a little bit more creative, but I mean, that's what it was. And
yeah,
Shawn Michaels smile, and yeah, that's a moment in history. So, backstage fight with Bret Hart. Those guys went at it all the time.
Yeah.
Rumor is that Bret Hart was dragging him around the locker room by his hair. And he stormed into Vince and said that he's going to go home. He quits. It's an unsafe work environment. It's crazy story. I mean, there's so many different ones, but that's the one I heard. But yeah, that's a crazy moment, man.
That is all the politics and everything going on, because if you really look at it in the mid-90s, Chris, after Hogan, Savage, all the big guys that carried the company on their back through the 80s into the early 90s were gone. Who was going to carry WWE? Who was going to carry it? Vince, that's when he decided to push the talent that he had already there. It's like, you know what? I need to push this talent I have. So he pushed Bret Hart. He pushed Shawn Michaels. And he pushed guys like Diesel before he left. Razor Ramon before they left to go to WCW. Sid Vicious, he pushed him. And this is around the early time there, right before the Steve Austin, The Rock, and Triple H started basically in the late 90s. I mean, this is mid-90s here. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart had some fantastic matches. Their Iron Man match, one of my favorite matches out of these two, had out of their rivalry. The Iron Man match was just, that's what I think about that. And yeah, him getting inducted to the Hall of Fame after all these years and making amends with WWE and making amends with Shawn Michaels and buried the hatchet and moved on. That's what I like about this in the end here. Everyone basically buried a hatchet and moved on with their lives. That's something right there you can look at, and you can't really too much say, wow. Because that don't happen really much in wrestling, does it?
Oh, a lot of us wrestlers say, and it is true, you can count your fingers on one hand, and you can count your friends on one hand, and that's a true statement in wrestling. It is. And yeah, those guys burying the hatchet after over, both men being competitive in their prime. It's good to see them friends now.
Yeah. It definitely is. It definitely is good to see them friends now. It definitely is. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting there. What happened, and wow, something else that happened. I got to throw this out here. This past weekend, we recorded ourselves in reaction watching the WWE St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Okay. From in your house, and damn good reaction watching this pay-per-view. Good card watching this, going back and forth on this. Okay. But the thing is, Chris, when I went back and played the audio, I didn't adjust my setting on my mixer on my computer, and every time you talked, it was like talking to God. It was like you talk, and it was like da 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 da, just echoed. I tried to get it edited. I failed. I was like, damn. So I passed it off to someone else I know who's good with audio. They couldn't do it. So at least we had a practice run at it, because it was going to be some bonus content for the TheEverettLeeShow, which me and you have discussed. We got something planned for next month, which I will make sure we do a test run, and things are great. So, but I have the match card up for the St. Valentine's Day Massacre pay-per-view. And do you remember a lot of this? Because I do. Like, it was like yesterday when we watched it.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, one of my favorite matches was Kane and China versus DX, right? That was one of my favorite matches on the card.
Yeah.
And you had The Rock and Mankind, Vince and Stone Cold, and the highlight of the pay-per-view was the Giant, the Big Show debuting.
Yeah.
And on St. Valentine's Massacre. Yeah, man, I had a blast. That a technical issue on, I mean, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But we got a little practice run for when we do air one for our listeners. And yeah, I'm ready I'm ready for it. I'm ready to do another one. And,
I am too.
Yeah, St. Valentine's Massacre was a fun show to watch. It had a lot of, I could have done without the boss with that. Who was Boss Man's opponent again?
Minion. Yeah, that match right there. I mean, we both agreed on there. Yeah, it just
Didn't do nothing for me.
it did nothing for me, man. I mean, it was a 6 minute 19-second match there that went on too longer than what it was supposed to. And even the crowd said boring. Started chanting boring. How often do you hear back in the day that someone chanting boring on a WWE pay-per-view during the Attitude Era? How often do you hear that?
Yeah.
Not much.
I think it was, when we was watching along, I think I pointed that out there, that it's very odd hearing that in the 90s when the business was hot as it ever was. And kind of that was a mistake on their part with the Midian character, but I mean, this card had a lot of great talent on it, and I enjoyed it, man. I had a blast doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have a viewer that dropped in, said hello, and I can't pronounce your name, but bonjour, hello, and thank you for tuning in tonight here on the Slammin' Thursday edition of the Everett Lee Show. We're talking about the St. Valentine's Day Massacre from 1999. So, but yeah, the Billy Gunn. I mean, not the Billy Gunn, but Big Boss Man and Minion match. Yeah, that's just, but not that one. All right. Bob Holly and Al Snow. That hardcore match for the vacated WWE Hardcore Championship match there. I like that one. They went all over the place, did they not? They used everything that was around them. Everything they used to throw at each other. They used trash cans from stop signs, Chris, to where the hell they fought outside the arena and went all the way down to the freaking river.
Yeah, they pulled out all the stops, man. Al Snow and Bob Holly. Bob Holly ended up becoming the winner. Yeah, this is a crazy match. They went everywhere. This is when the Hardcore Championship was fun to watch around this era.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah, I really like the match. I really did.
Yeah. What'd you think about Bob Holly wrapping Al Snow up in the fence there for the finish?
Yeah, that was a crazy part, man. Man, they just left him there, and he just stayed there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't like. The only thing I didn't like is Bob Holly running back to the ring just to hold the title up. I think he could have done it there. Put his foot over the fence, held the title up, but they see the camera sees him running all the way back to the ring, which is weird. But other than that, man, I enjoyed that was a throwback hardcore championship match.
Yeah, that was something right there. That was basically something. I mean, just I loved it. I loved it there. Yeah, you said the Corporation, China and Kane going up against D-Generation X, X-Pac and Triple H there. That was something. That was something right there, because that match went back and forth, and Corporation ended up defeating DX there. That was a good tag match there. They had 2 tag matches on this card. Yeah, the second one, Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart with Deborah at ringside going up against D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry with Ivory. And that was the way that finished, man, with Jeff Jarrett coming in with the guitar. Or was it Jarrett or Owen that used a guitar on the back of Henry's leg and made him like, yeah, it was Owen. And then when that happened, Jared put him in the figure 4, and Mark, he had to tap out. That's one way to get a big man the cement. You know, take him out, take his legs out with a guitar and make him cement, huh?
Yeah, that was a good match as well. I really, you know, how they did that. Seeing Owen, you know, I love the WWE Network that we can go back and watch Owen Hart.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that little team of Jarrett and Owen. I thought that was really cool. And D'Lo Brown, underrated in the ring as well.
Yeah.
And Mark Henry, Hall of Famer. Yeah, I enjoyed the match, man. I did.
Yeah. And then you had the opening match, which was Goldust going up against Blue Dust, the Blue Meanie, which was a quick squash match. He came in there, and it was like bam, 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 1, 2, 3, done. Within 3 minutes and 4 seconds, Goldust defeated the Blue Dust in that match there. Dustin got his stuff in. You noticed that. He got his stuff in and everything, and he did the curtain. He did the curtain call, pinned him, and then he got him up and did Shattered Dreams to Blue Dust, which was great.
It was fun to, you know, it's crazy that he's at the top of his game now, and he was right there.
Uh-huh.
And it's cool, man. But
yeah,
who booked Blue Dust shit? Who booked that? But
who booked that? Who booked that stuff, man? Yeah. Who booked that stuff? Who books this shit, man? Who books this stuff, man? Who books this stuff?
Cacao, hello. Hey, it's nothing. He says he knows you.
But what's the next one here that was on this here? Oh yeah, Val Venus going up against Ken Shamrock for the Intercontinental Championship with Billy Gunn as special guest referee. It was that thing with Val Venus and Ryan Shamrock. Remember that? That was a great story that transitioned into the ring there. And Billy Gunn, he had his eyes on Ryan on Shamrock's sister, and you loved how he would not count fast for Shamrock, and at one point he wanted Val to beat Shamrock. It was great. Shamrock lost the Intercontinental Championship to Val Venus because with the fast count for Billy Gunn, he was like 1, 2, 3. That was great, was it not? That was something, huh? You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Okay.
I
was asking. Let me get your thought on that.
Yeah, Shamrock, Val Venus. Yeah, that whole storyline, man, was crazy. Val Venus did that a lot with Goldust as well. Had some good storylines. You know, like we was saying when we watched along, Val Venus could have been something if he would have been a better, you know, in-ring wrestler. His gimmick was good. It was good for that time. And, you know, these guys put on, you know, a decent match. Not my favorite on the card, but they did pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It had a good story to it and a good twist, and it almost had like a entourage thing or whatever's going on. But two main events: Mankind as the WWE Championship, going up against The Rock in a last man standing match, which ended in a draw. But my favorite part was The Rock getting on commentary there, saying, out came a giant gorilla and took a crap, and out came mankind. And he about like backhand Jerry Lawler. He said, shut your mouth or I'll slap that taste out of it. Just love that stuff, man. And then he's like, get over here. And he's sitting there beating up mankind while he's doing commentary. And then he gets in the ring and he gets on the mic and he's sitting there and he's like, and no one. And then mankind comes up, Mr. Sacco, and gets him in his mouth, man of a claw, and he's like, they don't do nothing like that no more, man. How'd you like this last man standing match?
I did, man. I enjoyed it. These guys pulled out all the stops, the finish, the double chairs to the head. Man, they did everything in this match. And I like when Rock wrestles in the tracksuit. I don't know, that just fits him. I enjoy it. Yeah, it was a good match, man. It was my second. It was my favorite match of the night.
Yeah. I would have to say that was my favorite match of the night, too, there, because it lasted a long time, though. But they did some great stuff, and it was almost like a continuation of the rivalry during that time of the year with the 99 Royal Rumble there, with the I Quit match. This is like part 2 of that, which ended in a draw. The finish was both guys knocking each other out with a steel chair. And then, oh yeah, what happened during one point during the match, Chris, with The Rock and the steel chair? I love it.
Yeah, he went to hit him with it, bounced off the ropes and hit him in the head.
That was great. That was great. I'd never really seen anything like that at that time. Did you? Or have you?
Good little comedy spot, and yeah, it was fun to see that, man. It was a good match. I liked it. It brought back some childhood memories.
Mm-hmm. It did. It was great seeing that there. 22 minutes that match lasted, which was great. My favorite match on this card because of the story and everything that went on with this. But one of my everlasting favorite rivalries and stories that went on for a long time was the Austin McMahon saga. And at the 1999 Royal Rumble, Mr. McMahon won it. And therefore, through what Commissioner Shawn Michaels at the time said, that the chairman could not go on and win the WWE Championship because of his position. However, the runner-up, it gets forfeited to the runner-up, which was Steve Austin. And McMahon did not want Steve Austin to be champion. He did not want it. So he put up roadblock in front of Steve to make sure that Stone Cold would not become WWE champion. And one of the things was having a steel cage match and to be the number one contender for the championship at WrestleMania 15. If Austin wins, he goes on to WrestleMania 15 and faces Mankind or The Rock or whoever it was. Whoever's holding that championship, that's who he's facing. And McMahon wins, Austin is out. He don't get no championship shot main event at WrestleMania 15. Now, this match went on for 7 minutes and 56 seconds, which seemed like it went longer, Chris. But it took him a long time to get in the ring, did it not?
It did, man. And Austin just kicking Vince's ass all over the place, and Vince trying to run. And, when they got in the ring, Austin continued to beat down, and out of nowhere you saw the Giant pop up and toss Austin out of the ring, making him the winner. But yeah, it was a fun match to watch, though, because you always like seeing Austin and McMahon in the ring, and yeah, they have a lot of history in the '90s, and it was fun. It was fun to watch, man, and it was a good little debut for the Giant, Big Show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, it was great. It definitely was great. Paul White, I think that's Paul White, aka later becomes the Big Show. He made his WWE debut. He jumped ship from WCW over, just like Chris Jericho did, because at that time, I remember seeing the Giant on WCW, and then he disappeared. What happened? And then months later, right before WrestleMania, he debuts coming out of the ring at this pay-per-view going after Steve Austin and working for Vince McMahon. And a little side note, the night after this pay-per-view on Raw with The Rock cutting a promo on Paul White was just fantastic. You got to check that out if you do. But yeah, this was good. What I liked was how Vince was climbing up the side of the cage, and before the match started, he threw Vince off the cage, and he fell and busted on the announce table, and they were about to take him out in a stretcher, and Austin got on the mic, and he was like, I ain't going to end like this. Get that, hey, medic, is that son of a bitch still breathing? Get his ass in the ring, or he's going to get a mud hole stomped in it, walk dry. Boom, he goes out there, and it was just freaking great. The commentary was great with Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler, and just a really, really good pay-per-view. This was right here. This was a really good pay-per-view. We both agree, Chris, that Mankind versus The Rock, last man standing in match for WWE Championship, which ended in a draw, 22 minutes, was the best match out of this pay-per-view. Our least favorite was Boss Man defeating Minion in a singles match at 6 minutes and 19 seconds. We're on the same page on that, right?
Oh yeah, that was definitely the worst one. Boss Man and Midian, definitely the worst match.
Okay. So pretty much we both agree on that right there. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the 1999 In Your House St. Valentine's Day Massacre? What would you rate that?
Are we doing it 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10?
Let's do 1 out of 5. We'll keep it like we usually do, because you see, the reason I do 1 out of 5 because a lot of people do 1 out of a 10. Let's just keep it simple. You got 5 stars, 4, 3. Let's, out of a system, 1 to 5. 0, 1 being the worst, 5 being great.
I'm gonna go with a 4 on this one.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff I like, some stuff I dislike, but the Midian and Boss Man match could have done without. But I'm gonna give it a 4. But overall, man, I enjoyed watching it with you and enjoyed the show.
Okay. I'm gonna have to give it a 4 myself, for the fact that it had story. It had story, had great story. You had great rivalry. You had everything that continued on into the following month for WrestleMania 15. Because I believe that, because this was on Valentine's Day, WrestleMania 15 was on March. So this was before like Elimination Chamber, before that, years before that. So yeah, 4 out of 5 on this. I'm right there with you. And damn, pretty damn good pay-per-view. Anyone that has not seen this pay-per-view, please check it out over on the WWE Network. Or if you have a friend that has it or can get it, or if you can watch it anyway, please watch it because this is great. And if you need something to do on Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow, but on this time of this recording, it will be released on Valentine's Day. So get your loved one that loves wrestling, or get someone that you love that loves wrestling, and watch it. You want to watch something? What do we watch? Let's watch this. There you go. There's your recommendation right there. Is that not a good recommendation right there?
I'll approve right there. I mean, that's a good recommendation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd recommend it for everybody.
Yeah. Valentine's
Go back
Day.
and watch this pay-per-view on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. There you go. You got something to watch. You don't want to watch a movie. You love watching wrestling. Boom. Watch this right here. And enough said. Enough said. Chris, before we start wrapping it up and taking it home, what does the Chris Rose have coming up here? You have anything coming up that people should know about?
Weekend, the Chris Rose has nothing coming up. I will be at my house all weekend. The next time you will see the Chris Rose in action will be on February 22nd. KZW presents Go for the Gold, an 8-man tournament for the heavyweight championship. And I will be going against Cousin Frank, and I will beat Cousin Frank and win the tournament and become the new champion.
Hell yeah.
And that will be held in Shotville, Kentucky. Bell time is at 7 p.m. Come on out and watch the man, the best, the Chris Rose, baby.
I can definitely agree with that right there. And I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that there. So be sure to check that out. Definitely check that out. And one last thing that people should check out, Podcast City Network, your top source for independent podcasting. Hit up podcastcity.net for shows such as The Everett Lee Show, Imaginary with Scott and Todd, Super Radio Brothers, Final Score, Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast, Wrestle Popcast, Best Friend Podcast Show, and much, much more over on podcastcity.net. Follow them on Facebook, Podcast City Network, and some between around Twitter at podcastcitynet. Subscribe for video podcast of The Everett Lee Show and other Podcast City Network shows on YouTube. And follow them right here on twitch.tv/Podcast City Network. You want more Everett Lee? Well, I'm going to give it to you. Follow me on Facebook, Everett Lee Show. And on Twitter, at the Everett_Lee. Instagram, Everett Lee Show. And you want audio portions of this podcast and previous release podcast, head over to the Everett Lee Show on YouTube. Stitcher Radio. Download Stitcher Radio on your smartphone or tablet and give a 5-star rating and a comment. Stitcher Radio, you can find a lot of podcasts on Stitcher Radio if you download that right there, because they have a lot of good content on there. Same thing with iTunes. If you have iTunes, please leave a 5-star rating and a comment on there. And iPhone people, you have iPhones, please download iTunes or Apple Podcast on your device and look up the Everett Lee Show. And, of course, on everettleeshow.podbeam.com. download the Podbeam app. I finally did it this past week actually. I downloaded the Podbeam app and I love it. You can find Everett Lee's show right there on Podbeam, and you can find a lot of other shows on there as well, and even you can find shows that are live on Podbeam. So be sure to download that app for your smartphone and tablet. Follow the Everett Lee Show and give a comment and download episodes of, especially with this episode and previous release episodes right there on everettleeshow.podbeam.com. Please download those apps and recommendations today. And I want to announce before we close out, next week, next Tuesday, I have a guest for an interview on my upcoming Tuesday edition of the Everett Lee Show, where I interview people. I'm going to have none other than ring announcer Rissa Pappas. She will be on the Everett Lee Show Tuesday edition of the Everett Lee Show. If you go back and watch Deathmatch Wrestle podcast, I was co-host Second Fiddle that night with David C. Russell, and he interviewed her. Great podcast. You should check it out over on the YouTube channel on Podcast City Network, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But she's going to be joining me on Tuesday on the Everett Lee Show. And, of course, be sure to check out Slammin' Thursday next Thursday with the Everett Lee and Chris Rose, baby. And that is it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And enjoy your night. And happy Valentine's Day. If you got someone to love, if not, watch the St. Valentine's Day Massacre wrestling pay-per-view, or watch Valentine. Watch something. But Everett Lee signing off, and have a good night, and we'll see you again next week for another Slammin' Thursday edition of the Everett Lee Show with Everett Lee and the Chris Rose, baby. Peace.